The situation on the border between Poland and Belarus is worsening. The EU Home Affairs Commissioner speaks of an unprecedented situation and describes how Belarus is proceeding. So, EU Interior Commissioner Ylva Johansson spoke of an unprecedented situation with regard to the actions of the Belarusian ruler Alexander Lukashenko on the border with Poland. She said, "Belarus is a country without migration pressure. Belarus is a country from which people are fleeing, not to which people are fleeing," said the Swede in the European Parliament on Tuesday. There, she also described how the Belarusian regime operates to the best of her knowledge. The current situation is a desperate, inadmissible attempt by a regime that invites people to come, said Johansson. Belarus attracts people with a promise of an easy and safe route to the EU. Instead, people would have to pay a lot of money, said Johansson. They would be taken to Minsk, stayed in hotels there for a while, and then, with the help of people in military clothing, would be brought close to the borders with the EU. At the same time, they would have to leave a deposit, Johansson did not name a sum there, in Minsk. A promise would be made to the migrants that they would be able to collect the deposit if they did not make it to the EU. But then people would be pushed towards the EU and not left behind. They put people in a potentially very dangerous situation that is completely unacceptable, said Johansson. This is not primarily a migration crisis, said Johansson. It is the aggression of a desperate, illegitimate regime that is capable of terrible things and does not care about people's lives. Among other things, the EU accuses Lukashenko of targeting people from crisis regions such as Afghanistan and Iraq in order to smuggle them into the EU. The situation on the border between Belarus and Poland is currently worsening. According to Polish information, thousands of people ran from the Belarusian side towards the Polish border. Larger groups tried to break through the fence. Lukashenko denied the allegations and held internationally organized smuggling networks responsible for the thousands of migrants on the border with Poland. The refugees used these structures and paid a lot of money to find a better life in the West, Lukashenko said on Tuesday in an interview broadcast by the state media in Minsk. They are not poor people who come, he said. They discovered a loophole here. What a nonsense. The entry of migrants into Belarus is completely legal, said the 67-year-old. The situation had come to a head since Lukashenko, who is often criticized as the last dictator in Europe, said after the EU sanctions were imposed on Belarus that he would no longer stop anyone at the border and would no longer fight drug smuggling. Poland's Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki accuses Russia of being behind the conflict. He said, "Lukashenko is the perpetrator of the latest attack, but the commissioner of the attack is in Moscow, and that commissioner is President Putin." Morawiecki said that at an emergency session of the Polish parliament on Tuesday. Russian President Vladimir Putin promised Lukashenko his support at an online summit in early November. The EU made a similar statement. The EU Commission has the Russian government on the radar because of the refugee flights to Minsk, said EU Commission spokesman Peter Stano on Tuesday. In press reports, it had been said that the Russian airline Aeroflot was transporting refugees to Belarus, who would then be taken to the EU's external borders. The EU Commission is now investigating these flights from Russia and the possible involvement of Russia in general. There were also media reports that Turkish Airlines is also targeting migrants to Belarus. The airline denied the reports. In addition to Russia and Turkey, the EU Commission suspects a total of 33 countries. The EU has already put pressure on 13 countries such as Turkey, Iraq and Egypt because of the refugee flights. Iraq cut certain connections to Belarus after a visit by EU Foreign Affairs Representative Josep Borrell. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.